let's look at now handling mobilisation with your employer. So first question is, when should you raise it with them?
As early as you can.
Absolutely. Now, sometimes I understand you might only get a month's notice and you'll have lots of other things to be doing, but you really do need to take the time to have a meeting with your employer and also perhaps the HR department as well to flag up with them what's happening. So giving notice, the first one. You also do need to check that the employer has got their pack full of information as well, so that you're not gaily going off thinking yes everything's sorted and they don't even realise that you're going yet. Rights and responsibilities. So first of all, what are your rights around mobilisation? Let's start off with your rights.
During the mobilisation, they should guarantee that you have a job to come back to.
What's the employer's rights?
Basically, they have the right to say no, you can't be mobilised, so they can stop you from going.
They can. They don't need your agreement, but if they can make a case that it will affect their business operations and they can't spare you for mobilisation, they can apply to have it deferred or postponed or cancelled. So again, it's one of those things that open communication, generating goodwill, making it easy for the employer to support you while you're going off on mobilisation are all going to help. So what other rights does the employer have?
The employer has the right to financial assistance with getting some cover for while you're away.
Absolutely important. They can get help with the financial costs of arranging a replacement for you, and that's something that you need to be flagging up with your employer. Also, helping your employer. I mean, this is a big deal for an employer to suddenly have one of their key members of staff absent for a minimum of 6 months, not quite sure when they could be coming back. It could be 6 months, it could be 12 months. Very inconvenient, actually. So how are we going to make it easier for them?
You make sure they know when you're going, you prepare your relief, you brief your relief, you provide them as much information as is possible, you tie up any of the loose ends that you've left flapping, you come back in time to make sure that you can tidy up some of their loose ends, and that when you come back you're not coming back into a complete mess, that you're actually reintegrating back into the organisation.
They want to know you're coming back, because if they're going to invest all of this time and effort in getting a replacement and an arrangement and all these things, they want to know it's going to be worth it and that you're going to come back at the end. So talking about your return is really important. Looking at things like keeping up communication while you're away, perhaps they could make sure that you're still included on email lists or newsletters, or talking about, oh, well, I need some refresher training when I come back, or could we have a period of, you know, a day where I meet with everybody to find out what's happening. So just, you know, relevant to your role, things which are showing that you have already thought about when you're back, how are you going to get up to speed as quickly as possible.
I was going to add the support that they can get from the Navy. In my case, there was a lot of publications that they could read, and maybe highlighting to them that they can talk to people as well, and there's special lines they can phone up and discuss.
That's a really good point. There's lots of help and support available for that really important time of mobilisation. So speak to your local unit, they can liaise with your employer. If you've got any questions that you have, they can help you. Thank you.
Listen, so I received a big pack this morning from the MOD, which basically tells me that you're going off to God knows where for how long?
Yeah, it's in the pack.
9 months. In 4 weeks' time.
Yeah, really excited. I mean, Afghanistan is just going off at the minute, so... Oh, and also, it's in the pack, but it's between 9 and 12 months.
It's the first time I even knew that you were in the Territorials.
Well, I mean, I'm no hero. I don't like to shout about it.
Do you not think that it's something that you should have brought up in the job interview?
Well, it's in my CV. Just under other interests. There's ferrets and then TA.
This tiny bit here?
Yeah. It's a size 4 font. Yeah, because I wanted to get it all on 2 pages so it looks...
Listen, You're a key member of the IT project. That's why we spent a lot of money, time and resource trying to hire you. And now you're just dumping me in it. What am I supposed to do?
Have you looked in the pack? Good.
It's going to cost me an absolute bundle to fill your post again. Where am I going to find the money?
If you look in the pack,
If I do find someone, I'm going to make absolutely certain that they stay for a very long time.
now, this is in the pack. No, you got to keep my position for me when I come back, so I can just go straight back in.
Is there anyone in the MOD that I can complain to?
Look for a number in the...
Forget the bloody pack. How am I going to sort this mess out?
Well, unless you can go out and sort the Taliban out. I mean...
In the next 4 weeks?
No, it's a big ask. Big ask.
So what do you want to see me about?
Well, so as you've been aware for quite a while now, I'm in the TA reserves. My squadron's been given notice to move. I'm on the list, and I'm going to need some time off for mobilisation.
How much time off?
At least 9 months.
What thoughts do you have about covering you while you're away? Because, you know, we're at quite a delicate stage with your project.
Yeah, I've been thinking about it a little bit. There's one of my colleagues that could possibly cover one of my projects. I've been talking to her. Obviously, I would brief her fully on everything that she needed to know before I went away.
Right, who's that you're thinking of?
Katie.
Right, okay.
Yeah, and I would give her full notes of what I've been doing and to make sure that she's up to speed.
Well, I mean, is that going to be an additional cost, or are we going to have to train them, or how does that work?
Absolutely not. The armed forces will help you or help the company towards certain expenses in regards to administration fees from an agency.
Right.
I'll be paid by the MOD at the same rate you're paying me.
Right.
And when I come back, well, I'll have additional management skills to bring back to the team and the company. And
what sort of management skills do you think you'll come back with?
Team leadership, working under pressure and with tight deadlines. It's just basic man management to a high degree.
During the time I'm away, I'd quite like to hear what's happening. If I can get communications, maybe emails and letters.
Okay.
And then before I come back, I think in the operational tour leave there may be some opportunity for me to come in, perhaps, and meet up with Katie and try and do a handover again.
Well, you're a braver man than I am. Sounds like you've thought ahead, so we've got the replacements. I'm happy with all that, but good luck.
Thank you very much.
When it comes to mobilisation, remember these points. Firstly, notice. Give as much notice as you possibly can to your employer. Rights. Know your rights and responsibilities and also those of your employer so there's no confusion. Financials. Reassure them that you being mobilised shouldn't cost them anything and they can get some additional help. Be as helpful as you can in arranging that transition. And lastly, talk about returning to work. How can you get back up to speed when you return to work?